I'm going to do a follow-up. I said I would, and I didn't think about it, but bought this Ryobi. This is February 17th. And originally I bought a 6-inch, and I had to take it back, got an 8-inch. And if you seen my first video, it explained why I took it back a little bit, and I got the 8-inch, thought it would come with the spacer to put a wire brush on it. Of course it didn't. These don't come with them, and like I said, when I called Ryobi, they said, if I'm not mistaken, in my first video it said, no, they don't recommend. The lady told me, we don't recommend you put a wire brush on it. I'm like, well, okay, alright, so there we are with that. But other than that, I have used this quite a bit since then, and I just want to get back to a quick follow-up. Be honest, I had this one here. I was still getting a vibration. I had the wire disc on this side, and then I changed it to this side, and I put it back to this side, and I got the same thing, the same results each time. And I went out and I bought a disc shaper. It's supposed to knock it off, make your disc round and true, because sometimes these discs don't come true. So, that was the issue with that disc, and I actually put the other disc back on here, took the wire wheel off, I put the other disc, I got the fine on here right now, and I put the coarse back on. Still had the same thing, was getting one hell of a vibration. So, you know what? I said, hey, I'm not one of them to cry about a lot of things, but, I could have took it back. I knew it come with a 3-year warranty. So what I did, I said, wait a minute. Well, I'm going to see something here. So I took this armature apart. Now, that's a whole new ball game. I took it apart, and where they have their seals and stuff in here for the shaft and all that, where all that runs through, I found that on this side here was loose. I could actually push it back and forth with my finger. Now, it wasn't much, you wouldn't think much to make a difference, but it is when you turn that thing on. So, I moved it, I got it in place. It was actually out of place, and I just checked this whole thing out from one side to the other. I actually pulled up. That took a little doing, a breakdown on these as far as how they're actually made and the seal rings, how they put inside them, how, with all the armature and all that. But anyway, hey, that was the first month I put this one on here, and I've been using it ever since. Now, I did go back and I put the wire brush I did all that in the first week when I got this 8-inch and after I made the first video. And I put the wire brush on this side. It's common, but a grinder doesn't know what side a brush is on. I had somebody comment, normally the wire brush is on the right side. Well, yes and no. I've seen them on both. So, to me, it didn't matter. But anyway, after doing what I did and found what I found wrong inside there, put it together, and I've actually used this thing quite a bit. And that was in February of 2017 when I got it. Now, you can cut this thing on. You don't have no vibration out of this thing. And like they say, the story goes, you don't even hear it have vibration. Throw a quarter or a nickel. They say a nickel. Put a nickel on top of it, see if it vibrates off. It ain't moving nothing. Nothing will vibrate on here. Throw it down there. It just sits there. Everything sits like it should. It doesn't vibrate. You don't hear no funny noises. And I tell you, I did the first time. Stick a nickel up there. Like I said, this thing runs smoother than my car does, probably. So, yeah. Sit there with it on, and like I said, I've been using it since then. I haven't had an issue with it. If you put a new wheel on, make sure you true that wheel up. Little learning curve. But other than that, not an issue with it since then. And like I said, I just wish they could have done a few things different. They should, on a big 8-inch, they should have put an actual real working light off this that was hooked in, wired into the motor itself. And this plate here, these little shields, yeah, it's okay. This one right here I thought was stupid. But this one here for grinding drill bits, okay, that's fine and all too, but you know, most people, you use a grinder enough, they're really not going to care much about that. Some might, some don't, so don't beat me up on it. But it should have been the same on both sides, the clear shit on both sides. And like I said, with a big 8-inch, I would have thought they'd have put a working light instead of these little battery operated deals. I mean, that to me, that's just, you know, that's, yeah, a little on the cheesy side, but other than that, you know, hey, works good. Nickel don't move, this thing just sits good and smooth, even when I turn it off. That nickel will stay right there. It won't go anywhere. You don't hear vibrating down the house and anything moving off and all that. Everything sits here real good and smooth. So now I hadn't had an issue. So yeah, just want to do a quick follow-up on that and let you know where I'm at with mine. You know, I do not recommend taking this apart, especially since you have warranty on it for 3 years. I still got another year on mine. You know, let's see, 18, 19, yeah. So I got another year, and you know, but it's just some flaws, factory flaws. You know, like I said, I'm one of them. I'm one of them guys. I've never learned how to fix something unless I tore into it myself. So going into this, like I said, I do not recommend it. But it wasn't a big deal after I figured out what was going on with it and why I was getting all the vibration out of it. It didn't matter which way, what wheels I had on it and whatnot. So, but I got her going good. I hadn't had an issue. Works really good. Yeah. So let's see if it holds up to time. Thanks for looking.